Antarctica is like no other place on Earth. It has no permanent residents, wild weather, and towering icebergs that could rival skyscrapers. Visiting this frozen land is like stepping into a history book, following the paths of brave explorers who came before. If you're up for a thrilling and unforgettable adventure, a trip to Antarctica is a must. However, check out these videos before you decide. Subscribe to our channel and let's go! Frozen ship. Antarctica has secrets hidden in its icy embrace, like a shipwreck that defies the norm. Normally, shipwrecks are at the ocean's bottom, right? Well, not in Antarctica. The supercold climate can freeze ships in ice, almost like cement. If you don't have an icebreaker ship, you're stuck until the ice melts. Sometimes, the ice can even crush a ship, like what happened to the famous Endurance over 100 years ago. This ship carried explorer Ernest Shackleton and was recently found almost 10,000 feet underwater. It's a frozen tale that truly gives you chills. Ghost Yacht. Marsum Finn was a Brazilian yacht that sank at Maxwell Bay of Ardley Cove, Antarctica, about 750 miles south of the tip of South America. This yacht turned into a bit of a mystery, earning the nickname Ghost Boat. The yacht was owned by a well-known Brazilian journalist and entrepreneur. When it sank, there were 4 people on board. The crew was busy filming a documentary near Antarctica's coast when a super strong wind, roaring at over 60 miles per hour, pushed the boat against the ice. Trapped in the icy grip, the crew sent out a radio mayday that was picked up by the Chilean Navy stationed on the frozen land. Once the Navy's boat could reach them, the filmmakers quickly hopped aboard and got to safety. Everyone was okay, but the same couldn't be said for the yacht. It couldn't be easily salvaged. The icy water that got into the hull froze and caused the yacht to sink, ending up at the bottom of the not-so-deep bay, only 20 feet down. Arctic Military Base. Imagine a special place built in the cold Arctic just for about 150 soldiers. This spot helps Russia's military ships and planes work on their own. They call it a base, and it's meant to make Russia more noticeable in the Arctic. The base even has a super advanced radar station that keeps an eye on ships and airplanes moving around. Recently, Russia made the base's runway longer so big planes, including fighter jets, can land and refuel there. These fighter jets keep watch over the icy skies. People who know a lot about this stuff say that the Arctic's ice is melting more, mostly because of changes in the climate. That's making it easier for ships to travel around and for people to search for energy and valuable stuff hidden in the region. This base, nicknamed the Arctic Trefoil, was finished in 2017. It's just about 160 miles to the east of Norway's Svalbard Islands. The base is lifted on stilts to stay warm in the extreme cold. It even has its own electricity and cool stuff like a clinic, library, chapel, gym, and a cinema. Glacier Tongue. Antarctica reaches down from Mount Erebus and sticks out from Ross Island, creating a long icy tongue that stretches for 6 miles. It's like a thin sheet of ice that extends out from the coast. The Erebus ice tongue is like a blue-edged knife sticking into the icy McMurdo Sound. It's thicker at the front, about 160 feet, and even thicker where it touches the shoreline, around 980 feet. Exploring it sounds like a fun idea. This icy thing is always changing because of things inside and outside it, like pressures and forces. Ice tongues show up when icy streams from glaciers rush into the sea or a lake, usually in a protected place. For example, Capes Evans and Royds from Ross Island protect the Erebus ice tongue from the open waters of the Ross Sea. It's like a perfect icy storm. In summer, when the sea ice in McMurdo Sound melts, the ice tongue floats on the water without melting. In the summer, when the ice around the tongue melts, waves of ocean water keep hitting the edges of the tongue, making fancy patterns in the ice and sometimes creating deep caves. Then, in winter, the sea freezes again around these new shapes. Rectangle Iceberg. Scientists working with NASA who watch how cold places react to climate change discovered something strange. Icebergs that look just like rectangles. This surprised the internet, and people started saying aliens were involved or that scientists with chainsaws were at play. But these flat, square, and smooth icebergs are actually normal. They saw them off the coast of northern Antarctica while studying the icy part of the region. The biggest one was about a mile wide, but like most icebergs, only 10% shows above the water, so most of the square part is underwater. When icebergs break off from icy edges, they can look as square as the corners of a sheet of paper just after it's been cut. Lost Soviet cruiser. Karvanchenka is a kind of special vehicle made in the 1950s in the Soviet Union. The name means a woman from Kharkov in Russian. This vehicle was built to work well in Antarctica and drive over rough terrain. Built like a tractor and looking a bit like a tank, they sent 2 of these vehicles to Antarctica in 1959. These giants even reached the South Pole and now stand as a tribute near the Russian Antarctic station Progress. The explorers realized that regular tractors couldn't handle the extreme conditions, so they needed a vehicle that could endure the harsh weather and also keep the expedition team comfy. The incredible Karvanchenka, over 13 feet tall, 11.5 feet wide, and almost 28 feet long. It had a cozy cabin for 8 people, complete with a kitchen, bedroom, restroom, and driver's seat. Spooky ice holes. Ever heard of cryoconite? The name itself is a blend of 2 words, cryo, which relates to ice, and konite, referring to dust. The discovery of these intriguing ice holes dates back to 1870 when a Swedish explorer ventured onto Greenland's ice cap and encountered them. These enigmatic formations are given the name cryoconite. Imagine standing on a glacier and coming across these peculiar holes that come in various sizes and are filled with water. If you peer into these holes, you'll likely find dark sediment settled at the bottom, while the remaining space is occupied by water resulting from the ice melting. Cryoconite dust, the key player in this phenomenon, is a blend of small rock particles, dirt, and even tiny living organisms. This mix settles on the surfaces of snow, glaciers, and ice caps. It's like nature's confetti. What's fascinating is that this dust isn't limited to local sources. Sometimes, it can travel from far-off deserts or even carry remnants of volcanic eruptions and emissions from industrial activities. The dark color of this dust has an interesting effect. It absorbs sunlight, converting it into heat that melts the ice below. This natural heat absorption leads to the creation of elongated holes, almost like cylindrical tunnels, in the ice. So, the next time you stumble upon these cryoconite-filled holes, you'll know it's the result of nature's intricate dance between various elements, making these formations a captivating sight on icy landscapes. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Please make use of the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification icon so we can keep in touch. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.